Hi, I'm Dr. Seligman, and it is that time of year again. So, today we're going to be talking about back to school. I know it's a time of year that can fill us with a lot of mixed feelings, but we'll talk about a few simple strategies that will hopefully get your year off to a good start, whether you are sending your little one to preschool or your big kid off to college. Um, First of all, let's start with some must-do school prep. So now is a great time to make sure that your child is up to date with checkups, immunizations, and sports physicals. If you're not sure, just call us. We can help you figure that out. If you still need a checkup, we have availability. If you have had a checkup within the past year, you can just send your sports physical form along and we will get that taken care of for you. This is also a good time to start working on forms for any medications that your children may need to take at school. And along those lines, refilling things like inhalers or EpiPens if they use them. Keep in mind that in Ohio, there are minimum vaccine requirements for various grade levels. And generally, this is most relevant for kids going into kindergarten, 7th grade, and 12th grade. That being said, if you have a child who's going into preschool, a child going off to college, or someone enrolling in a new school, they generally are going to want to verify immunization status as well. Once you have all of that squared away, it is time to start thinking about sleep habits. So a lot of kids I talk to over the summer get into sort of a shifted summer sleep schedule. And if you have noticed that your child is going to bed late and waking up late, you are certainly not alone, but it can take a little bit of time to get back into a good routine. So now is a great time to start working on that. You may even want to have them move bedtime back by as much as like 15 or 30 minutes at night until you're back into more of a normal kind of sleep schedule. Things that can help are trying to avoid naps during the day, trying to avoid caffeine, getting electronics out of the bedroom, and turning electronics off a good 30 to 60 minutes before bedtime. Sometimes people are surprised at how much sleep kids actually need. So for our younger school-age patients, like the 3 to 5-year-old crowd, often we are thinking about 10 to 13 hours of sleep per night. For the kids in the middle years, between 6 and 12 years, we're thinking about more like 9 to 12 hours. And teenagers typically need at least 8, although sometimes as often as 10. After you've gotten a good night's sleep, it is time for breakfast. And a lot of kids tell me that they just don't like breakfast or they don't have time in the morning, but I would love to convince you to make this part of your daily routine because it is such a simple and important thing to do to keep kids healthy and actually to help them do better in school too. The good news here is that breakfast does not have to be really involved or time consuming. If you can, this is a great time to get some fruits or vegetables and protein into kids. And avoiding highly processed foods is a good plan. As far as some ideas for healthy things that can be on the table in just a couple of minutes, you could try a scrambled egg. You could do some peanut butter on whole wheat toast. You could do a smoothie with Greek yogurt and fresh fruit, frozen fruit, even just a glass of chocolate milk is good. Lastly, I want to talk a little bit about emotional health, and any big change can be hard. So keep in mind that it can just take a little bit of time to get used to a new school year. In general, having a relatively consistent daily routine is helpful. There are a couple of routines in particular that I think are especially important to build into your day. So the first is having some time after school that is unstructured. Running around outside, playing with friends, blowing off some steam. It's not just fun, but also really helpful for kids to be able to regulate themselves. And family dinner is a great way to keep tabs on how things are going. And we actually know that it is a protective factor for kids. if kids are having a little bit of a difficult time adjusting to the school year, it can be helpful to acknowledge that this is really common and that we all have good days and bad days. And there are a lot of fun things to look forward to in the coming year. But if you feel like they are struggling, reach out. We want to help. Thank you for watching. I hope everyone has a really great start to their school year, and let us know if there's anything we can do. Thanks. Bye-bye.